in a dimension veiled from the human eye, lies a place of torment called the Nexus. When people speak of the terror they feel in their nightmares, unknowingly they reference the Nexus. Every night, unsuspecting souls are drawn into its maw, subjected to a torment that leaves a mark deeper than any physical wound, a scar upon the psyche. As people drift into sleep, their consciousness is pulled into this realm. The land is a twisted mimicry of Earth, where the sky is an unending storm. Buildings morph and move like living creatures, and every shadow hides a demon waiting to strike. These aren't mere figments of imagination. They are architects of terror, deliberately shaping your fears. But behind these demons is a more sinister force. A cabal of humans, known as the Collectors, has gained access to the Nexus. Cloaked in obsidian robes and hiding behind masks that mirror the demons around them, they use the Nexus as an experiment ground, collecting data on each person's fears, desires, and weaknesses. From these experiments, they've devised methods to introduce illness, manipulate decisions, and even control actions in the waking world. Depression, anxiety, sudden sickness, the side effects of a particularly harrowing night in the Nexus. The more traumatized a soul, the easier they were to control. Why do they do this? The answer is chillingly simple: power. The Collectors are deeply embedded in American society, from its industries to politics. With the knowledge from the Nexus, they've shaped national agendas, ignited wars, and manipulated public sentiment. Every major decision, every pivotal moment in history, every cry of a child scared of the monsters under the bed is a testament to their influence. Jenna, a journalist with a penchant for uncovering dark truths, began to notice the pattern. People from all walks of life, including prominent figures, were having eerily similar night terrors. As she dug deeper, she uncovered the existence of the Nexus and the Collectors. In an old, dusty library, Jenna found the diary of a man who had once been part of the Collectors, but had turned away, horrified by their goals. The diary detailed the operations of the Collectors, their plans, and a chilling statement. Every person is a puppet, and with the strings of their fears, they are ours to command. Armed with this knowledge, Jenna decided to expose them, but the Collectors, ever watchful, caught wind of her investigations. One night, as she slept, they pulled her deeper into the Nexus than any had gone before. She found herself in a grand chamber, where souls were parodied like cattle, their deepest fears projected for all to see. In the center, a massive demon, larger and more terrifying than any author, fed on these fears. It was the source of the Collectors' power. Confronted by the Collectors, Jenna was given a choice: join them or be forever trapped in the Nexus. Defiant, Jenna refused. In retaliation, the Collectors subjected her to her worst fears, every nightmarish scenario she could imagine. But Jenna had an indomitable spirit. She resisted, and with every night her will grew stronger. Months went by in the waking world, and Jenna's disappearance made headlines. But no one knew of her struggle in the Nexus. And then, one night, she broke free, returning to her body. But she was changed. The weight of the horrors she'd witnessed marked her deeply. Jenna, now gaunt and with haunted eyes, held a press conference. She exposed everything: the Nexus, the Collectors, their control over society. The revelation was shocking, and the world was in an uproar. But as days turned into weeks, a chilling reality set in. People were too deeply entwined with the Nexus. Even with the knowledge of its existence, they couldn't escape its grasp. Every night, millions were still pulled into its depths, their fears harvested, their actions controlled. The collectors, although exposed, had the upper hand. Instead of hiding, they now operated openly, their influence more potent than ever. They controlled the media, the narrative, and thus, the people's perception. Jenna's warning became a mere conspiracy theory, and she was labeled a madwoman. The world continued with the collectors pulling the strings of society. Wars raged, diseases spread, and fear became the universal language. People, aware of their puppet status, felt helpless, trapped in a never-ending cycle of terror. In the dark corridors of power, a collector was heard saying, "You can reveal the monster, but you cannot make people stop fearing it." The message was clear. Knowledge alone is not power. Without the will to act, to change, to fight back, humans are mere playthings in the hands of those who seek to control through fear. And in the heart of every individual lies a haunting question. If we know the puppeteer, why do we still dance to their tune?